64 teams from 32 states, one district.
Hey, let's not forget, we also have one of the territories here.
One territory, Puerto Rico. We are excited for the 2021 All-Star Bracket Challenge.
It's our honor to be here with you today to go ahead and put these pairings together. 64 teams trying to see where everyone's going to go. It should be exciting. And tonight you're going to see who all your competitors are in all 4 of your rounds. So we're really looking forward to this.
My name is Justin Bernstein. I'm the Director of Trial Advocacy at the UCLA School of Law.
And I'm AJ Belito de Luna. I'm the Assistant Dean for Advocacy Programs at St. Mary's University School of Law down in San Antonio, Texas.
Before you hear from us and see who you're about to be facing over the next month, we want you to meet the hosts that are putting on this event. So if I could have all of our hosts join us on screen, that'd be great. As you can see, it takes a village. So we're going to ask everybody to introduce themselves, representing our East region.
Good evening, Michael Vanderzee, Stetson University. We're going to be the East host for this tournament, and I, along with Elizabeth Bowles, will be your points of contact as we get going. And Stetson's certainly looking forward to a fun and exciting tournament.
Michael, we'll have you come back on when we pull the East ping pong balls.
Roger.
We'll head to the South.
Hey, everybody. I'm Brett Bain. I'm the director at the University of South Carolina School of Law, and USC will be hosting the South region this year.
We're heading to the Midwest.
Hi, I'm Gina Girardi. I'm from Loyola Chicago, and I am one of your competition administrators for the Midwest Regional. I am the Assistant Director of the Dan K. Webb Center for Advocacy there.
Hi, I'm Adrienne E. Bain. I'm Associate Director of Loyola Law School's Advocacy Program, and we are happy to be hosting.
And finally, we head to the West Coast. And we have a late joiner. We have 2 late joiners from the West Coast. You want to introduce yourselves and your schools?
Spencer Falke and Casey Falke from Berkeley.
Which one's which?
The big man here is Casey.
Awesome. And I believe he's in charge of the judge instruction.
He's also judging all 3 rounds. I hope that's okay.
Right.
Terrific. Okay, well, good. We'll have some ballots and crayon.
Should this be the time we tell Spencer that there's actually 4 rounds, not 3 rounds?
We'll tell him later.
Okay, all
We
right.
got enough judges for 2, so we should be good.
Good.
Frankie?
And hey, everybody, I'm Frankie DiGiaco. I'm the director of the mock trial program at the University of San Diego.
And Natalie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie Winters. I'm the director of the Advocacy Competitions program at Berkeley Law. It's great to be here and see all of you.
Awesome. Well, we will be seeing our West Coast hosts in a moment because they'll be the first ones we draw.
But before we go away, while everyone's still in the room, I think it's important that we say thank you to each and every one of you. These are our regional hosts. They volunteered this year to pick up the mantle on this. And we couldn't be happier. What a great crew we have this year. So thank you to each and every one of you.
Thanks for hosting. We will see you all on screen in just a minute. So I want to thank a few more people who are helping make this possible. I also want to thank the other host. After our 4 regions are complete and the 16 teams are advancing to the national finals, AJ's hosting that one.
We're taking the National Bracket Challenge Finals. We're really excited to do that and welcome everyone virtually to San Antonio.
Sweet 16 will be hosted by St. Mary's. All right, the first person we want to recognize is Ashley Himmel. Ashley, would you join us on screen, please?
Hey, Ashley.
So many of you know Ashley from her outstanding work for the Texas Young Lawyers Association. She, among many other things, designed the incredible website for last year's national trial competition. And so when we saw that, we said, we need to have that. So we asked Ashley if she would create the website for the All-Star Bracket Challenge, the All-Star National Challenge. Ashley, you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody about how you make the websites for trial competitions?
Hi there. So I am an attorney in Houston. I have my own practice doing small business transactional work. Also a musician. I'm in a home recording studio right now. So lots of varied interests, and I've been working with NTC for almost a decade. So when we had to proceed virtually, it was very important to me. I care very much about that competition and mock trial in general. It was very important to me that we presented well in a virtual setting. And I think the website is the first impression competition for especially virtual competitions. And at least at TYLA, we're also looking at the website as a first impression for competitions moving forward, even once they're back in person. So we're excited to have sort of discovered this necessity is the mother of invention. Now we will have websites for our competitions. And I think that's a trend that's continuing across the country. So it's exciting that I get to use a little bit of my creativity and design skills in this mock trial universe where I've lived for so long. So it's been a lot of fun.
And I gotta jump in here. I have to say, Ashley, that court, the basketball court and the court, that black and white, that little offset that you did, I thought it was marvelous. It's beautiful. It's well designed. Thank you for all your hard work on that.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure to work on this project, on this competition. It's so fun to test out website skills for an entirely different format of competition and see how we can still make it a good experience for everybody.
I got one question for you. If people see that website and they think, I want a website like that for my competition, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I will throw my email address in the chat, but if any of you...
This is being live streamed on YouTube, so there is no chat, but
there's no chat.
we can get that out to our tournament director.
Perfect. You can get in touch with Justin and AJ.
Nice.
And they have my contact information.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Ashley.
Everybody can check the website for updated rules and rules clarifications, as well as the case and case clarifications. Thanks, Ashley.
Absolutely.
Thanks for adding that, because that did go out today. Everything is updated. Everything's up there, and we'll continue to update throughout the entire competition.
That's right.
And I think now we should probably introduce Liz, don't you?
I do.
Liz, can you come on screen here? So this is Liz Dugan, everybody. Some of you might remember Liz from last year. She was our Board of Advocates chair. She's graduated. She's working at a law firm now, doing defense work. She's doing a fabulous job. And we asked Liz to come here and help us with the tech for this show. And she said yes. And we love having you back, Liz. Why don't you take a second and introduce yourself? No.
Liz, I can't hear you. Are you muted?
She's not. No.
All right. Well, that's Liz Dugan.
That's Liz Dugan, everybody.
If you couldn't hear her, she has a melodic voice. She's terrific. We're so excited that she's going to be running the tech, and the tech is silent, so we're all good.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz.
And our last guest before we turn to the draw itself.
It's kind of an important guest.
Yeah, it's an important one because this is the person who helped us design the pairings draw.
Yep.
Can we get on screen, please, Professor Joe Lester?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Professor Lester.
Professor.
Hello.
Show some respect. He's a professor.
Right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But he's not wearing patch sleeves.
He doesn't have the patches, but he's still a professor.
Right.
So Joe, for anybody who doesn't know, and how could you not know Joe Lester, but he is the Associate Advocacy Director at the American University Washington College of Law. He is the host of Trial Team Central, where you can find out who's facing who won each weekend. And of course, most importantly, I think this is the top of his resume, he designed the pairing systems for All-Star Bracket 2021. Joe, tell us how it works.
Well, if you know me, you know that I love me some brackets. That's why I have a book of draws on the trialteamcentral.org website in case you have a 3-round competition that you want to make that's evenly balanced and separated. Justin came to me and said, we have 4 rounds. Can you make 4 rounds? And so we have an interesting bracket here, but it's randomly paired, randomly divided up, but it's also done in an orderly manner so that each team is going to go prosecution twice and defense twice. Each team will go prosecution and defense in the first 2 rounds, and then prosecution and defense in the third and fourth round. So you get to space it out. You won't have to run them all together. And no 2 teams will have the same draw. In fact, you have sort of unique pairings. A lot of times, if you just try to do a draw randomly, you end up with patterns that develop. And so we tried to do our best to make sure there were no patterns, so that we didn't have the same teams sort of placing each other in a cluster. So you're going to get a nice random draw. And as you pull out and you pull out the names, it's going to slot out and it's going to be wonderful. But I guess you don't actually have me to blame if you don't like your draw. You'll still have to blame AJ and Justin because they're the ones pulling the names. I just set up the structure. So let's just go ahead and get that straight.
Yeah, they're gonna have to blame the ping pong ball. That's not our fault.
That's true. Professor Lester, it sounds like a pretty thorough system. If we're any more thorough, you could just tell us who the winners are right now.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Well, we got to see the draw first. Got to see the draw
Okay.
first.
All right, we'll play the game. Thanks,
All
Joe.
right. Thank you for having me and looking forward to the event. This is super fun. Excited about it. Thank you.
Good luck to your American squad.
And thanks for helping us, Joe. Oh, sorry, Professor Lester.
You can't find good help.
I'll get it right eventually. Hey, I think it's time.
It is time. We're gonna turn to our first draw. We're gonna start with the first competition. AJ, you can stop shaking the ping pong
All
balls.
right, I'm gonna stop shaking.
We're gonna start out west because that is the first region geographically. And so we'll take down the pairings for just a second while we introduce our folks out west. So Spencer, Frankie, Natalie, what are you most excited about hosting this year?
What is it, Frankie? Natalie?
I don't know. I really had a great time hosting last year with Spencer. I'm actually looking most forward to having Natalie's calming effect on, the hecticness that Spencer and I felt like we're moving around, doing a lot of stuff, trying to figure it out. And I think Natalie's going to bring some really nice calm to what we're doing and really have this be an effectively run region for a second year in a row.
Thanks, Frankie. I can just say I'm really excited to be helping out running this one because I am an alumni of the trial program at Berkeley and grew up under Spencer's tutelage. So it's exciting to be working with him running this tournament for y'all. And I know it's going to be an awesome one. We're so excited.
Spencer, did you not get the memo about the background? I mean, look how nice their backgrounds are.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get the memo in time. That's a receipt issue, not a send issue. So that's my fault. I didn't check my email in time. But I've got a very active background as it is. So.
You do, and colorful.
Yeah, colorful as well.
Yeah. So what kind of pressure are you guys feeling being the first regional this year?
All the pressure, terrified.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. with that confidence, let's turn to the draw. Liz, can we get the pairings up on screen? And I'll walk everybody through how this is going to work. So AJ is going to pull the ping pong balls from the bag. He's got them up there. The teams are all listed. The 32 schools are listed on the side of the page. That's because teams have already been assigned to their weekend. So these are all teams. They're going to be our first weekend, either assigned to the West or the Midwest. The first 16 teams we pull are going to go on this page. That'll be the West region. And the remaining 16 will click to the next tab, and that'll be our Midwest. You'll notice that Loyola Chicago is highlighted in blue. That's because they have to be assigned to the West. They're hosting the Midwest, so we don't want to put them in their own region. So if they naturally get pulled among the first 16, we're going to assign them where they go. But if we get to 16 and they haven't had their name pulled, then we will just assign them Team 116. All right. AJ, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm really excited. We've been waiting for this. I can't tell you how many emails I've gotten about when are the ping pong balls coming out.
Let's do it. First team.
Very first team is the University of Illinois, Chicago. John Marshall.
Wow.
How about that?
Powerhouse school to start us off.
Right, so they're in the West. There we go. That means ultimately,
there we go.
Yeah, ultimately we'll have at least two Chicago teams out there in the West.
That's right.
Our very next team is a Hook 'em Horns. It's the University of Texas. Our next,
Pacific McGeorge.
Is that what that stands for?
PMG, yeah.
PMCG stands for Pacific McGeorge. So they'll be out there in the West.
So Pacific McGeorge, for anybody who knows about the West Coast competition, they know that the National Ethics Trial Competition is as good as it gets. You may be sad to learn, if you don't already know, that this is the last year that Jay Leach and Carrie Brick will be coaching for Pacific McGeorge. So I think everybody's rooting for Pacific this year. Give them a great last year on the circuit.
Yeah, but maybe this is the last year that they're like working at Pacific McGeorge, but hopefully they'll still come back to coach, right?
So are you not rooting for them?
I'm rooting for them to come back and coach because we'll really miss them if they don't. So, one of our hosts from last year, great friend of ours from Pace University in New York.
Lou Faciolo is the great head coach there.
Sweet Lou.
Is that
sweet Lou?
I'm not going to touch that, but I will say that Pace was last year's runner-up at the Stack National Championship. They were 1 point from being national champion at AJ. So that is a team to watch out for.
It's pretty awesome. They've been putting a lot of work there. Florida International.
Florida International is the former white collar national champion from the Georgetown competition. So we know they can hold their own in a big event.
Absolutely. One of our hosts this year, Stetson University.
And they're not just a host,
No.
they are the reigning all-star bracket champion. That means that last year they won all 4 rounds in their region, and they then swept through the bracket 8-0.
8-0.
Justin, I can say I was one of the teams they went through on their way to victory, and that was a fantastic team.
Let's see what they bring this year, right?
Did you just pull Stetson twice?
Pulled Stetson twice.
It sounds like a rigged system over here.
Put them back in the bag. All right, this is a nice draw. It's coming out from all over the U.S. We have Drexel.
The Dragons of Drexel, one of the few schools, and in fact, the only in the last 5 years to have won Tournament of Champions, AAJ Nationals, and Top Gun. They've got a new trial competition director starting last year. That's Phil Pasquarello.
Phil doing a great job out there.
And the unsung hero, Jess Falkenstein, the superstar coach at Drexel. So they are a team to watch out for.
They definitely are. All right, the next school is another Chicago team, Chicago Kent.
They're one of the few schools ever to win Top Gun and bring that person back. They won Top Gun last summer with a 2L, Zoe Appler. So they are a team to watch out for. They also made the Sweet 16 right here at the All-Star bracket.
Well, look at here, Loyola Chicago.
Well, Chicago, one of our hosts.
So no longer the 16th seed. Now we'll just pick top 16.
They were never the 16th seed, but we will keep doing exactly what we're going to do.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Loyola Chicago, we got to give them their due. Not only are they a great host, but they are the 2019 national champion of the Tournament of Champions. So they are a team to be reckoned with.
Awesome team, and they're great to work with in the competition. And then we have a team from Arizona.
The Wildcats.
The Wildcats.
Coached by 2 former college stars, Travis McGivern and Brian Chase, 2 friends. They almost snuck out of the Region 14 last year of NTC. So they're knocking on the door of national success.
There's a school, it's up from the Northeast. It's called Harvard.
It's a school that if you ask people, they say they go to school near Boston. So they have a trial team.
Cambridge, right? Is it?
Near Boston.
Near Boston.
But we should say that Harvard is, of course, a former national champion at the national trial competition.
And in the West, staying in the West, Pepperdine.
Located just a few minutes from where we're sitting. Pepperdine's got a beautiful campus in Malibu. They're also the returning runner-up from last year's All-Star. They met Stetson in last year's finals. So look at this region. It's got both the finalist and the champion.
Wow, that's pretty tough right there.
Yeah, and we haven't even finished the draw.
Yeah, well, it's pretty incredible already. School from New York, right? Hofstra.
Yeah.
Hofstra is from New York.
So Hofstra was also a Sweet 16 team last year. They're led by Coach Jared Rosenblatt, who has brought the sort of gentle New York attitude to that team.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope that one day we could bring him out of his shell a little bit, but so far, he's doing okay.
Yeah.
What we got here? Hey, our good friend, host last year, one of our hosts from last year as well, Nova Southeastern.
Nobody more popular in the trial community than Megan Cheney.
Nobody. Secretary of NALE, which is great. All right, and then our next team, we only have 2 to go, right? Is Brigham Young University.
BYU, a former national semifinalist at NTC. They just changed coaches this year. Head coach going from Sean Howell to John Crom, and they look like they're not going to miss a beat.
No, John's working out of the same office that Sean's working in. I don't think they're going to miss anything.
So you don't think Sean's very good?
I think Sean's great. I tried recruiting Sean, just so you all know. I tried recruiting her to come coach for me.
Okay.
Like she doesn't want to. I don't know. Hey, and then I believe that's
WashU University, St. Louis, led by Judge David Mason. Fun fact, Judge Mason is one of the few people to have won NTC Nationals, not only as a coach, but as a competitor. He was on the 7th team ever to win this 46-year-old competition.
I can't think that there's that many coaches who actually competed and won that competition. It's a small group of people.
Well, there you have it. There's our West Coast bracket. We'll turn to our hosts. Which matchups jump out to you?
I gotta say the banter was exceptional. And the amount of knowledge that our 2 main broadcasters have brought to this is incredible. So I just want to say that. I also want to say that, boy, Loyola Chicago is, they're getting a lot of Chicago in there, because Chicago, Kent, and then UIC John Marshall. But then we're going to branch out big time, Florida International and Arizona. That's the cool thing about the competition, coming from everywhere.
Well, I didn't even notice that, but you're right. Loyola Chicago and UIC John Marshall are facing each other. So two Chicago teams
Yeah.
are right, go all the way to the West Coast for to compete against each other.
Maybe they'll do the rounds in person.
Maybe
Maybe.
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, don't do a shout out to Spencer. He's got a new show on TV. I don't know if you heard about
Oh,
it.
that's right. Spencer, you want to tell them about your new show?
Oh yeah, my new show. You mean Unscripted Direct? Is that what you're
Oh,
talking about?
that's it.
We
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, me and this guy who runs UCLA program, Justin Bernstein. Yeah. We are co-hosts of Unscripted Direct and having a ton of fun at it. I assume I'm having fun, Justin.
So we should say now people know why it's a podcast because they've seen us on screen. They know why we're sticking to audio.
Cut faces for podcasts. I think they say it these days.
That's right.
You guys are doing a great job with that podcast. I listen every week, and it's just wonderful to hear what folks are saying and getting a little insight into our little world.
Can't you subscribe on Spotify, Spencer?
Oh, that's right. You can. That or Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to get your podcasts. Subscribe and like.
There's no promotion better than self-promotion.
None at all.
Thanks to our West Coast hosts.
And I think the last thing we need to say is a special thank you to Walk Up Melodia, where Spencer is a partner.
A partner.
He's a partner at Walk Up Melodia, and Walk Up Melodia is sponsoring us. This is the second year in a row that they've helped out. There are quite a bit of expenses, and we really couldn't been able to do it without your firm, Walk Up Melodia. So thank you, Spencer, to you and everybody in your firm.
Yeah.
I believe we have some socks coming your way.
Oh, I needed them anyway. That's perfect.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, Walk Up Melodia was able to cover half the cost of AJ's shirt. So we're pretty excited. All right, we'll say goodbye to our West Coast folks and get on screen our Midwest hosts. Liz, we can turn that off for just a sec. There's Gina
She's on top of it.
and Adrian.
Yay.
So you're competing the same weekend that you're hosting. How are you going to do it?
Oh, with a lot of luck and hard work.
We delegate.
You do have a pretty big crew of coaches there that help out, don't you?
We do. We are very proud of them. Whenever we ask for help, they are right there for us.
Yeah, we noticed that when you hosted NTC last year, you had like one person assigned to one job and do that job right. And it ran so smooth, which is why one of the reasons why we asked you all to join us here this year. And I have to tell you, we're really, truly happy that you said yes. So thank you to both of you and to your dean who said yes as well. That's really important to add that because she's an advocacy coach as well in her own right.
Correct, Dean Zelda Harris. And thank you. We love doing this.
So AJ brought up something I wanted to ask you about, and I wanted you to get some recognition for this because when we asked you to join as one of the hosts this year, you said, hey, if we're going to do it, we want to do it in collaboration with an event we're hosting. Can you tell everybody about that event and how that event transformed this year's case?
Okay, so we are hosting a Women in Litigation conference, and we host that every other year. And this year, when the opportunity came up, our fabulous Dean Harris suggested that we do them in conjunction. Now, in order to do them together, she felt, we discussed, and with you guys, we talked about maybe what we should have is a problem that in some way relates to women. And so we said, hey, how about a domestic violence problem? Domestic violence is her particular area of expertise. And so Elise came up with an amazing case file. And so we are excited to do it. What do you have to say, Gina?
Yeah, anyone and everyone is welcome to attend the conference. So if you're interested in attending, we're kind of bookending our competition with the conference. So the conference starts on Friday, October 1st. We're doing like a practical training seminar in terms of how to give effective feedback to trial advocacy students. And then we're hosting our competition throughout the weekend. And then on Monday, October 4th, we're following up with a couple panel discussions that tie in themes from the case file. So we're really excited. If you want to sign up, our registration page is actually linked from the All-Star competition website. So you can go to the All-Star competition website and find our registration page there.
And it's free, right?
It's free and everything's virtual. So really anyone can attend. We're happy to have you.
And you gave a shout out to our draft writer, Elise. And, you know, I felt a little close to that because when I was a police officer in Maryland, this happened to our neighbor who lived right behind our house. This exact thing happened to her, and her body actually wasn't found for 7 years. So this is something that happens more often. I was shocked when we got the packet, how close it really was to the facts in our case. And these incidents, they really do happen. And I'm glad that we're bringing this out to bring it out to people's attention, and that you're talking about this in your conference. So thank you for joining us and having your conference at the same time.
Thank you.
Let's turn to the draw. We've got 16 more ping pong balls. Liz, whenever you're ready. She's ready.
I hope there's 16 in here.
I hope so too.
All right. Hey, I love the school, Villanova.
Wow.
I love Villanova. We had to stop by Villanova, and we visited their campus one time when my wife and I, who, by the way, might be listening right now. Hi, honey.
AJ's not just pulling ping pong balls, he's giving you a tour of America. I got to give a shout out to Villanova's coach, Steve Patton. This is a team that just 2 years ago was in the playoff rounds at the national trial competition.
Yeah, great guy as well. And the person who helped us with this pattern that we're using.
AJ, say the name of the school.
Called the Swirl American.
So the Fordham rankings that many of you know about, which rank the top teams each year based on competition results, American is top 10 over the last 5 years, cumulative results at all competitions.
Great program down there. And the next school is Cumberland.
Cumberland needs no introduction, but we're going to give it to him anyway.
Sure.
This program is helmed by Ramona Albin, by Judge Jim Roberts, and now Matthew Woodham, who's joined as the trial director. This is the team that has won NTC Nationals, AAJ Nationals. They won the National Civil Trial Competition too many times. They are going to be formidable.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember William competing, and he's right out there already. He was at the last conference, at the coaches conference. He put on a part of it. He was part of the panel there.
You remember William competing? I remember Matt Woodham competing. You know, we have different memories. Yeah.
All right, busted. All right. How about UC Hastings?
Oh, so I got to brag about our fellow school from California. So I mentioned those Fordham rankings. In 2018, Hastings wasn't just top 10 nationally; they were #1. They had the best season in the country, so we know they're capable of winning it all.
There's a lot of UCs here, isn't there?
Well, I think that speaks to the quality of education in California.
How about DePaul? Great folks over there.
That's the former champion of the Thurgood Marshall National Championship.
Yeah, great program. Great coaches over there. We have Florida.
Florida, they put the Gator in litigator. Yes, I've been saving that all day. But they're also top 20 in the Fordham rankings over the last 5 years.
Yeah, great program there as well. All right, and then we have, hey, here's a friend of ours, University of Missouri, Kansas City.
They are the host of the Show Me competition, which focuses on jury selection. When Rafe Foreman stepped down as the outstanding trial director, a lot of people wondered what's going to happen in that program. But Michelle Tobin has done an amazing job. They haven't lost a beat.
They have not. Do we have did something happen there?
I don't know.
Because UMKC ended up.
Well, you're looking at the different
I
columns.
am. All right.
Yeah.
So
Liz continues to do great work.
Yeah, she does. All right. The next school I have is, hey, this is one of our hosts, but not hosts for the bracket challenge, but for the national challenge. Yeah, Faulkner.
So Ron McFarland's the director there. When we had 90 applications for 64 spots, we didn't want to turn anybody away. And we thought it'd be great to hold a second tournament to make sure everybody had a chance to compete. And Rob stepped up and he said, I'll host that competition. AJ, you having trouble with those ping pong balls?
I'm getting nervous. There's so few left. I hope I didn't throw one in the basket.
Or drop them.
I really hope I didn't do that. All right. Our good friends over there at Catholic in DC.
Catholic's coached by John Sharifi and Lindsay Cloud, professors at Catholic. They're also the 2019 National Trial Competition national champions.
Hey, all right, Brooklyn, another New York team.
Outstanding. My scouts tell me that they are really good in objection this year.
All right, and then we have my dean's former school, William and Mary. Love having William and Mary join us for this. I know we wanted them to come to Top Gun, or not Top Gun. I wanted them to come to Lone Star, and we got them to come to All-Star last year and now this year. So we're really happy about that. Hey, here's another school right down the street, Santa Clara.
And by right down the street, he means about 7 hours from here.
Just that.
Yeah.
Small state.
Yeah. Santa Clara, we want to give a shout out to Tom Larkin. He hosted a great Region 14 last year. You run out of ping pong balls, AJ?
I did.
All right.
Maryland.
So Maryland last year, not only did they make the Sweet 16, but they were the school after the first 4 rounds who had the best record in the United States. Number 1 out of 64.
Then we have Arizona State.
The Sun Devils, coached by Chris Duran and Tyler Schwenke of college fame.
And then one of our hosts from last year, they're returning their competition this year, Quinnipiac.
Yeah, so they'll be hosting an ABA criminal competition this year. They're coached by Ryan and Sean, 2 of our friends. They're also quarterfinalists last year at Tyler Nationals.
And obviously our last team is going to be Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, 2 fun facts. Their slogan is law in action. That's their focus on experiential education. It really is. I wouldn't make that up. And they've got diploma privilege. So if you think you're smart at your law school, these kids are smarter. They went to law school where simply by graduating, they automatically are waived into the bar.
Boy, and everyone tried doing that last year and no one could get it done.
That's
but
right.
They did.
Wisconsin's got to figure it out.
Nice job, Wisconsin.
Can we get Gina and Adrian back on screen? How nervous were you for AJ as he was fumbling with those ping pong balls? Because I was pretty nervous. You didn't have to be on screen. How are you feeling?
Petrified.
Yeah.
You heard the one ball fall on the floor. That was Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Still don't know where they are.
Don't know about that. So you're looking at the matchups just like we are. What are you excited about?
I think I'm excited to see so many different schools from across the nation who we don't normally get to host. That's pretty exciting to be able to see them throughout the weekend.
Yeah,
Adrian, I think you're muted.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
I agree, and I'm excited about starting.
Yeah.
This is it is a lot of work, and there's a lot of anxiety coming up to this. And so I agree with Gina. I'm excited to see all of the schools, and I can't wait for them to start.
Yeah, I love the diversity in this region. People are kind of moving around. You're getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that. There isn't any clumping that I could see right off the bat. So I like that.
That's our new slogan. Yeah. All-Star Bracket 2021. No clumping.
No clumping.
No clumping.
I like that.
I don't. We're gonna jump to our next region. Gina, Adrian, great to see you.
Thank you so much. Great to see you. Good luck with your region.
All right. So we're gonna welcome on screen our host from the East.
I'm gonna transfer these to the bag that I can't see.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Great. Let's transfer all of the ping pong balls this time.
Any luck?
We're supposed to get that second Stetson one out yet.
That's right. Yeah, you got to pay extra for the ping pong rigging.
That way I can't see the names of the teams. All right, they're in there.
It's a professional operation we're running over here.
We ordered a thingy, but it didn't come in on time.
I don't know what that means. All right, Michael, are you ready for the draw? Are you excited to host?
Let's do it.
All right, Liz, can we get the East draw on screen? Fantastic.
All right, the very first draw for the East.
Okay.
It's UNLV.
Right, so if there's a school that you want to bet on, it's the one in Las Vegas. Last year, not only did they have a great run at NTC Regionals, they were points away from qualifying for nationals. This is an up-and-coming squad.
They also did very, very well here at the All-Star bracket. Did really, really good job. Let's see here. The next team is Georgetown.
Georgetown's the host of the famous white collar competition. They're coached by 2 of their alums, among others, Matthew Covert, Jordan Dixon, 2 star competitors who are now prosecutors in DC. What a great program.
Great program. They're always in it, right? And then we have Ohio Northern, our good friend Charlie Rose and David Rack.
That's right. Dean Rose is building that program. He was the former director at Stetson, and they are lucky to have him.
Let's not forget David Rack. They're lucky to have David.
Yeah,
who was named the director of their trial lab program just this year.
congratulations.
Congratulations, David. New York Law School, it's our last entrant into the bracket challenge.
Tell everybody about that.
Well, we had somebody that we had the field all placed. Everyone was picked. We had sent our no notices out. And then we had a school that said at the last minute, hey, we can't go. And well, we had already told the no schools no. And like a minute later, New York Law actually emailed me and said, please, 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 can we really do it? We said, yeah, absolutely. They have a great, Bliss, his name is Bliss, a great kid out there who really worked his tail off to get in the program. So I believe it's that, either Bliss or Bias, one or the other.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add.
Go ahead, AJ, pull the next team.
Did a lot of work with this school last year. We hosted multiple competitions with them, co-hosted Michigan State.
The Spartans, they're part of the 10-5 club. That means in the last 5 years, they've made the break at more than 10 competitions.
Pretty awesome. It's the new number one, Temple.
Temple, number one in US News. They're also a returning Sweet 16 team from this competition. They're hoping to make it even further in the bracket.
Another New York team, St. John's.
St. John's also part of the 10-5 crew, 10 breaks in the last 5 years.
And Drake.
So a lot of people don't know this, but Drake is the birthplace of collegiate mock trial. In the mid 80s, the dean of Drake, Richard Calkins, decided that college mock trial should exist as well as law school. And he's expanded it from just 20 teams in year one to more than 700 last year. All started at Drake.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you came here for the division draw. You came away with a little bit of information.
More than a little.
A little bit of history.
Hey, friends up there in Buffalo.
Buffalo, the host of the Niagara competition.
Hi, Jennifer.
Those great cases from Judge Francis,
Yeah.
Jennifer Sharp.
Yeah. Down in Georgia, Emory.
Emory is, of course, the alma mater of our case author, Elise Wilson, who wrote a really fabulous and important case.
Hope you're really all enjoying the case and its difficulties. School, Michigan.
So Michigan, student-run program with a lot of pride. Last year, they were not only in our Sweet 16, they were part of the Final Four. Just one ballot from making the finals.
Oh, South Dakota.
So in getting ready for the show, I learned something really impressive about South Dakota. They're a small school, about 170 students total, not per graduating class. And yet they went to 10 competitions last year. So
That's a lot of competition.
Yeah, you talk about a commitment to trial ad. It's right there. When you have so few students, you're still going to 10 competitions. Huge credit to Professor Laura Rose.
Absolutely. I was just looking to see, is there any chance that South Dakota is facing Ohio Northern? No.
Oh, we were hoping for a Rose versus Rose matchup.
Yeah.
They call it Battle of the Roses.
Battle of the Roses.
Battle of the Roses.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But maybe, no, you have to see in the Sweet 16. Alabama.
Right. They're not just known for football. This team is also an NTC former national semifinalist just 4 years ago.
Yeah, Steve does a great job with that team out there.
And you're talking about Steve Sarkisian,
Steve,
offensive coordinator?
No.
Okay.
Steve Ennis.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Charlton.
Yeah.
All right. Florida State.
Florida State, top 20 over the last 2 years in the Fordham rankings. So cumulative results, all 150 law schools or more in the United States, they are top 20 based on results.
Wow. Pretty awesome. Hey, one of our hosts, Berkeley.
Go Bears. That's my alma mater, my undergrad alma mater.
Hey, did you go to Berkeley?
I literally just said it.
How many times has he said it in this broadcast alone?
I think this is the first one.
I'm not sure.
But they're the home school of Aaron Rodgers, 3-time MVP, Jack Bauer. We all know Jack Bauer from television. And of course, 16 elements on the periodic table discovered at UC Berkeley. AG, you can tell them the team.
UCLA.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah. So the school that you went to.
Yeah.
And then the school that you are coaching at,
right?
Teaching at,
right?
Back to back.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so let's pause there, AJ. We've got our East region filled out. Michael, you're looking at this. What's your first reaction?
Well, I may be a Florida guy, but I grew up in the great state of Michigan, so I love to see those two schools showing up down here and see what they can do.
So you're saying that you're going to give favoritism to the Michigan teams? Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe one of them.
Okay, well, we'll wait to find out. It's nice when corruption is so transparent.
No, it's a different draft. It's good variety to it. I mean, I'm a rookie in this whole thing this year, so I'm real excited to see how this thing plays out.
We are so grateful that Stetson's hosting. We're really grateful.
Really are. Give our best to Liz, and we'll see her, I guess, in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
And it looks like you also have a really good draw here. It looks like Joe Lester's swirl is working.
It's swirling
It
again.
is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is clump free.
It is clump free.
Yeah,
There's no clumping.
no clumping.
No.
All right. We got one more region. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
And can we get our host of the South
Oh,
on
that's
screen?
right. Sorry, too soon.
Hey, Justin and AJ.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Good to
I'm
see
doing
you.
great.
So what's going on?
Ready to see what schools we have. There are some difficult regions so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You want to get right to the draw? You
Get
excited?
right to it. Let's
All
jump
right.
in.
Let's get right to it. All business. Brett Bain.
I hope there's 16 balls.
I hope there's at least 15 balls in there.
At least 15 balls.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Wait a second. We were supposed to pull South. Are we? Do we get South
Yeah, no,
Carolina?
I think you got to move me.
We do.
So that's
We have to-
16.
we have to move the last school.
That
So
last
I should have
school.
explained that right. So I'll
Sorry,
you know,
UCLA.
So South Carolina, like Loyola Chicago, can't be in their region. So that UCLA Berkeley matchup I was excited about for round one becomes South Carolina by the same rule.
Y'all can scrimmage each other now.
That sounds like a lot of
So
fun.
when I pull South Carolina, I'll just go.
Right. There you go. Okay,
All right.
so now we're going.
UCLA's
to
back in the bag.
UCLA's in the bag.
In the bag.
All right, cool.
All right. Here we go.
UCLA.
If you didn't see me pulling it out of the bag, you wouldn't know, but it's UCLA. I'm literally putting my hand in there. I'm not even looking. We already talked about UCLA. Hey, Suffolk.
Tim Wilton's program, always tough.
Yeah. Are they up there in that Boston area too?
Yeah.
Yeah, right up there. Texas Southern.
Tim Adams runs a great program. They
Fantastic.
co-hosted an excellent regional last year. We got a chance to work with him.
Tim's really every time we face some tough teams, really well coached. Tim's doing just a great job out there. So here's that South Carolina ball. So we're just gonna
Right,
get
because
rid
they're
of that.
back in the other region.
Right. So no ping pong for South Carolina. Campbell and our good friend.
Yeah, so I think everybody's rooting for Campbell this fall. Dan Tilley is putting up a really good fight, and we won't go into too much detail, but he's talked to a lot of people in the community. He's battling cancer. I think we're all praying and rooting for Dan, and we're cheering for his interim director of advocacy. That's Tatiana Terry, former Top Gun champion.
Yeah, Tatiana's a great coach too.
Incredible. And this school's got an amazing legacy. They've won Top Gun twice. They've won AAJ Nationals. They've won the National Civil Trial Competition. This is going to be a tough out.
Yeah, I'm going to give you one more plug to your unscripted direct. If you haven't heard it, they did Dan Tilley this past week. It's a great interview. It's great hearing Dan's voice. We're all rooting for you, Dan. We love you. We miss you. Look forward to seeing you soon back on the circuit. Okay, so the next group, and we have a new director out there, Georgia State.
Did you know that in the last 10 years, they've won 31 tournaments?
I did not know. That's
That-
really
that-
impressive.
That's why I'm telling you.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Paige Borman, who took over this year as the new director of advocacy there. So
Congratulations.
Paige, it's not really a big change because we all know Paige, but she took over, and we wish everyone there good luck. Hey, one of our hosts from last year, Inter-American University, Carlos,
Nicest guy in trial ed.
nicest guy in the
He's
world.
the best. We love Carlos.
I think we do a little poll. Is it Carlos hosting a big conference there in January in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to visiting you in Puerto Rico in January. And if you want more information on that, reach out to Carlos. Look, another UC Davis.
Davis is the host of the fabulous MLK Civil Rights Competition. They also have been finalists at competitions like Kelly and the Faulkner Mockingbird Competition.
One of our hosts this year, San Diego.
Oh, the Toreros are tough.
They are.
Frankie's teams are always good. We have to face them at regionals, and they don't get any tougher.
All right, and then we have Houston.
So Houston is the reigning runner-up from the Trials and Tribulations competition run by South Carolina. They're coached by Judge Christine Weems
Yep.
and Brandon Draper of TYLA.
Yep. They're going to be hosting our NTC region this year, and we're hoping that they're going to do that live.
Nice.
Hey, West Virginia.
We got a chance to see West Virginia at ABA Nationals a couple years ago. They were really good.
They had a really good team last year as well. I watched one of their rounds from the control room, and I thought they were an outstanding team.
When AJ says control room, he means his office with multiple computers.
Only like 30 of them. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The next team we have here is Tulane.
Oh, that is a fun school.
It is. Now, Tulane, I actually got an email from them. They didn't get their t-shirt order in. I was like, hey, where's your t-shirt? And they're like, hey, we're having a hurricane. So we're wishing you all down there that you all are surviving okay. You're back at school. Things are getting back to normal. And we look forward to you competing here. And don't worry, we'll send you your t-shirts. It's okay. I thought you would have something.
I think you covered it.
Yeah. Okay. And then, hey, you keep talking about these rankings, these rankings. Fordham, let's talk about those rankings.
So Fordham top 10 in US News, top 10 in the Fordham rankings. And I think that Professor Schlawhead, Adam Schlawhead, who runs that program, deserves a ton of credit for bringing the community together with his Friday conversations after the pandemic began. I think it helped a lot of people get acclimated to Zoom mock trial.
And he was on Scripted Direct as well. And he explained the whole Fordham ranking. So if you're curious about those Fordham rankings, you should check out Unscripted Direct so you learn a little bit more about it. Those come out.
I think in the next week.
In the next week, they might come out. So good luck to everybody in those Fordham rankings. All right. South Texas College of Law.
Rob Galloway, the president of NALE, and AJ, I think you're the vice president, right?
I am the president-elect.
Okay, the assistant to the president.
Yeah, that's kind of like Dwight Schrute. That's me.
That's right.
All right. And then we have, hey, Northwestern.
This is a team that's the former national champion at NTC. Rick Levin's team is always prepared.
Always prepared. And Rick, I got an extra small t-shirt for you, just so you know.
I thought you weren't going to make that joke.
I wasn't. And then we have Denver.
So Denver's coached by Judge Madden, Dave Schott, Kevin Keys, and they have swept Region 13 the last 2 years. They've gotten both bids to nationals last year and the year before that.
Just so you all know, this says like Beaver on it. And that's supposed to be Denver?
He literally read the word Denver and then said it's illegible after he'd read it.
No, because I read Beaver and then I was like, that doesn't say Beaver.
This is no longer appropriate.
All right. And then the very last goal, we know who that is, Rutgers.
So fun fact about Rutgers, their record in criminal competitions is exceptional. And this year's case is a criminal case. So watch out for Rutgers. Brett, what are you thinking?
Our friends from South Texas and Houston have a gauntlet, it looks like, to get through. I'm also looking forward to this Fordham Campbell matchup. I think that's going to be a collision between two very good programs.
Yeah,
this is going to be a tough region. Brett, are you excited?
I'm excited. Yeah, I think there's going to be some really good trials, and it looks like eyeballing it very quickly. There's some really good round 3 and 4 trials. So
that is nice.
There's going to be a lot of movement on the back end, I suspect.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm looking at my own team in here. We have a tough draw.
Yeah, you do.
Brett, thanks.
I don't think anyone has an easy one.
Can we get all of our hosts on screen to thank them? And Liz, we can take down the bracket there. On behalf of all of the hosts of All-Star Bracket 2021, thank you for participating. Good luck this fall, and we'll see you in the virtual courtroom.
Really looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody. I'm just checking the email. No one sent an email, so I think we're good.